Alrighty, everybody. What is up, y'all? Welcome back to another live, you guys. We are doing a little bit of coverage here. We do have a little bit of storm activity popping off here. Okay, let me go ahead and bring up my chat real quickly so I can see what y'all are saying. But I hope you guys are doing well. Hope you guys are having a great day out there, or great night, I should say. What's up, Twilight? Good to see ya. Hope you're doing good. What's up, Beth? Hope you're doing well. Welcome, everybody who is just now joining. So, yeah, we do have ourselves a bit of storm activity here. Actually, we're going to bring up our radar over to the west here. Which, let's go ahead and actually hop westward for a moment. Because we do have... oh, there we go. We got a lot of lightning activity over here. Here, we'll bring up the Lubbock radar. But I do have a little bit of a severe weather threat here. For today, what is this? There's an earthquake out here. What? Colorado City in Texas. Let's see, a 2.7. Wow. That's crazy. Yeah, that's actually out there right where kind of some of these storms are at right now. We actually do have a storm here that's up by Andrews, by Seminole, Texas here, popping through. We also got a bunch out there kind of by Spur in Paducah, Texas. What's up, Carrie? Good to see ya. Hope you are doing well. But anyways, yeah, we do have ourselves a bit of a threat tonight. The main threat's going to be for tomorrow, but I do want to do some coverage here tonight with you guys because we do have, that active threat here, which we are seeing the potential for damaging winds tonight, as well as some hail. We've seen some pretty nasty storms actually roll through like the Lubbock area a little bit ago. Yeah, we had one that went right over Lubbock. This was right around 8:30 Eastern, so that would have been 7:30 local. I believe Lubbock is in Central Time, right? Or is Lubbock Mountain? I'm pretty sure Lubbock's right on the border. I'm pretty sure it's Central Time. But anyways, yeah, they got hit pretty good by a storm there a little bit ago. And we also had a pretty nice little storm northwest of Snyder just a little bit ago as well. But we still have a bit of activity here. Let's see. My name is Andrew. That's my son's name. Oh, really? Yeah. That's my name. What's up, Valerie? Good to see ya. See storms popping off in northern Oklahoma. Are they? Oh, yeah, they are. Goodness, look at that. All right, well, we're going to definitely keep a close eye on those. I do want to bring up the Storm Prediction Center's outlook here real quickly. We'll pull up the day one. We do have a pretty big marginal risk here for today, which is a level 1 out of 5 on the spectrum here for severe weather, which we do include bits of western Texas going through Oklahoma and even a little bit of southeastern Kansas here. Just shy of Wichita, we do have this level 1 threat for today. Now, thankfully, tornadoes aren't going to be much of a concern today, as we have less than a 2% chance for tornadoes, which is definitely good. However, like I mentioned, we do have that damaging wind threat here, little 5% risk here in the brown. So we could see maybe a couple of damaging wind gusts within some of these storms here, possibly getting upwards of 60 miles per hour or whatever. So it is definitely possible. And then, of course, in terms of hail, we also do have that 5% hail risk going through Texas, Oklahoma, and portions of Kansas here, which we could see some hail between maybe 1 to 2 inches here in diameter. Let's see here. What's up, Free Thinking? Good to see ya. Bought our kids helmets because of how many tornadoes we get here in Mississippi. Gotcha. It's not a bad idea. It's always good to be prepared. Absolutely. I'm glad to see that you're being prepared. That's great. So then, of course, we go into tomorrow. Now, they did upgrade the risk tomorrow. Honestly, was kind of expected here. We do have a level 2 slight risk tomorrow. So we are going to do nighttime coverage. Probably sometime around midnight or so. I'm going to try to do some coverage here for you guys, because, obviously we have, eastern Texas here, like Houston, out there by like Lufkin, and of course we have portions of Louisiana, like Lake Charles, Shreveport, Baton Rouge, Alexandria. These areas are in a level 2 threat, and even a little bit of, Mississippi is involved, southwest of Jackson. out by like Brookhaven, we do have a level 2 convective outlook here, which that is going to give us a pretty decent threat for overall severe weather. Now, tomorrow, we do have a tornado threat. The greatest concern here being in the brown for eastern Texas and central southern Louisiana. But the overall threat extends for the green areas as well, even into central Texas here for tomorrow. Storms obviously aren't quite there yet. You can see where the storms are at right now. Current radar view out there in West Texas. But yeah, this is going to be for more of tomorrow's threat here. But definitely we're going to have a potential for a couple of tornadoes here we got to look out for. We do have a 15% damaging wind threat, potential for gusts between 60 to 70 miles per hour. And in terms of hail, we do have a 5% hail threat here for tomorrow as well. So definitely got to keep an eye on it. And even going into day 3 here, we do have a level 1 threat here going into Sunday. In which we're definitely have to keep an eye out there for severe weather, even for areas out like by Mississippi, of course, Alabama, Florida, and bits of Georgia here will be in that risk here as well. Let's see. Valerie says I'm in Oregon. Gotcha. Oh, you're going to be all right from severe weather and stuff like that. Although you guys up in the Pacific Northwest are actually getting a little bit of a system here. Yeah, we do have a little bit of rain, not any severe weather or anything like that out here, but it is a little bit of rain. Yeah, we got a little bit of something coming through. But yeah, the big stuff here is, this event is starting right now up here in western Texas, which actually seems like these storms out by Midland are starting to pick up quite a bit. Yeah, look at that. In the last few frames, you can actually see how much those cells have blown up there. Those are ones you definitely got to keep a close eye out there for, looking out for maybe some hail, maybe some damaging winds here. Like I mentioned, tornadoes today isn't really expected. I do actually want to bring up the meso analysis here. I do want to take a look at that. So let me pull up meso analysis, just so we can kind of see what the current conditions are looking like, essentially. So we'll go ahead and bring that up. We'll pull up the southern plains here. Yeah, so this will give me more information on like kind of what's going on. Essentially kind of in the lower atmosphere, the mid-atmosphere, stuff like that. So you can see here we obviously have those storms firing off on the western side. We got enough instability to get things going here, but I'm really curious to see that wind shear. If you look closely, we do have a little bit of veering winds, meaning that the winds here in the lower atmosphere, first of all, the winds are going north, slightly northeast, but as we go up in altitude slightly, the wind direction changes pretty aggressively to the northeast, which that could give some spin to maybe some storms here that fire off. And we got enough cape here, enough instability. I mean, it seems like a decent environment. I mean, obviously we're lacking a lot of fuel, but it's enough to get the job done. Yeah, our lower level jet isn't really anything significant, really. At the current time where we're at now with these storms, I really don't see a current tornado threat. But as we progress, like I mentioned, into tomorrow, that's whenever we're going to have maybe a little bit of a tornado threat start to arise here. Yeah, I mean, you can see that mid-level flow. So our winds about 20,000 feet are kind of going to the northeast, coming from the southwest going to the northeast here. Meanwhile, if we drop altitude to about 4,000 feet, the winds are pretty much going directly north, coming down from the south, going to the north here. So that's really important. Let's see here. See, I'm in east of Brookhaven, Mississippi. Gotcha. Well, we'll definitely keep it out there for Mississippi. We'll definitely be doing some coverage and stuff. Let's see here. Let's see. I think day 3 will also be a slight risk in northern Florida based on the HRR runs. We'll see what happens. Will there be any storms in northeastern part of Mars? Really? I recommend checking your local Mars forecasters for that one. I'm not your guy for that. But anyways, like I said, I mean, we're definitely getting quite a bit of storm activity popping off. Dude, these cells actually look pretty healthy. I mean, look at that. Right there, like the last few frames, I mean, you can see that they went from, nothing really special. Now they're just kind of semi-discrete cells here. I mean, these guys have some pretty good reflectivity echoes. I mean, we're talking like lower 60 dBz range. There could be a little bit of hail mixed in with that. Very interesting. And then, of course, like I said, also these guys, the ones east of Lubbock, we'll keep an eye out there for as well. And also up here in Oklahoma. Yeah, we're definitely starting to get some storms firing off here by Oklahoma. As of now, I don't see... Actually, hold on a minute. We do have a severe thunderstorm warning here for Oklahoma. Here, we'll bring up our other radar for a moment. I do want to take a look at that real quick. Yep, so there you go. So we got a severe thunderstorm warning for western Oklahoma for Sealing. I think that's how you say that. Let's see here. Cestus, I think it is. Taloga, Lenora, Chester, and Orion. Got a severe warning in place here. This is for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and half-dollar size hail. So we have a little bit of a hail threat and damaging winds on that, yeah. Got a nice little hail core up there north of Lenora, heading towards Sealing, Oklahoma. Correct me if I'm wrong on that name, by the way. I'm not really the best with names. What's up, Misty? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. How's tomorrow looking for severe storms? Pretty decent, actually. Yeah, we do have, like we mentioned a minute ago, we do actually have a level 2 slight risk here for tomorrow. The biggest concern tomorrow is going to be for our folks in eastern Texas, including Houston area. And of course, a lot of central, southern Louisiana, and a little bit of southwest Mississippi here, south of Vicksburg area, west of Hattiesburg. But yeah, we do have a level 2 threat. Scale goes up to 5. Obviously any level is a severe thunderstorm risk, is a threat for damaging storm potential. But yeah, we have a level 2 tomorrow, which is actually a little bit of a greater threat than today, of course. What's it looking like for Fort Worth? So the Dallas-Fort Worth area, as of right now, we do have a little bit of precipitation north of you guys. Nothing really big, honestly. However, given later, going down in time, we are going to be seeing that line eventually approach you guys here. I'll even bring up the models here. Let's pull up composite reflectivity on the RFS model. Yeah, you can see as we progress farther down in time, you can see this is showing right around 4 p.m. Eastern, so local 3 o'clock, roughly. Now, take that with a grain of salt. The models, they're not perfect always with timing, but it'll be sometime in probably the early afternoon. Or, sorry, the early evening. My bad. Either the late afternoon or the early evening is when you could expect that line to roll through. But, given your risk there, we do have a threat for some damaging winds here, as well as maybe a little bit of, I'm not going to say as in like a lot of activity, but we do have that tornadic threat we need to keep an eye out there for tomorrow. I'm going to grab a sounding here out by Dallas here, right around when the line hits. Yeah, so if you look at the lower levels, right where my mouse is, you see how the winds kind of change direction with altitude. At the ground level, the winds are kind of going to the northwest, kind of north-northwest. And as you go up in altitude, they kind of change slightly to the north-northeast. So there is a bit of a wind directional change and an increase in wind speed with altitude, which we can obviously see on our photograph here with a little bit of an arc. But, yeah, great moisture content. Mid-60 dew points, supplying great amounts of moisture to these storms here. Instability is a little weak, but yeah, it's to be expected for this time of the year. It's enough to get things done, though. Let's see here. Let's see here. What's up, Weston? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Tonight isn't looking good here in Tulsa. Maybe we get enough to make some small hail and gusty wind or two. How about Tulsa? Yeah, I mean, Tulsa could get a few pop-up cells here. Here, let's hop back to the actual radar again. I should probably just make 2 different panels, to be honest with you. I definitely needed to do that. Here, we'll go back to reflectivity here. I'll even load my custom color table. I like my neon radar. Yeah, I mean, Tulsa's pretty clear right now. There's really not a lot going on at the moment. You can see we do have a couple cells to the west starting to fire off, though. Including that one severe warning that we have over by Sealing and Chester, out by Orion, Lenora, Taloga, and Cestos. I think, is that how you say that? I'm pretty sure. But yeah, we got 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts and $half hail on that one. Also got a flash. Ooh, hold on a minute. We got a new warning. Oh, this is on one of these cells out by Midland. Yes, indeed. Okay, there you go. Got a new severe warning up in West Texas for, let's see, Wicket, as well as Penwell, let's see, Arcade, and West Odessa. And however the heck you pronounce this one, Monahans. Monahans? No, it's not Hands. It's Monahans, I think. And Thorntonville. I can say that one. What's up, Noah? Missy says tomorrow looks like a big line of storms with embedded tornadoes with any supercell that gets in front. See, we got problems if they do. There's a possibility for some prefrontal storms, yes, absolutely. But, yeah, I'm a little bit concerned about those rain wrap tornadoes. You know, of course, being embedded in the line itself, it will be possible. Like I said, today we're not really seeing much of a tornado threat tonight, right now, but tomorrow is when our tornado threat really starts. But yeah, for tomorrow though, got to keep an eye out for maybe some rain wrap tornadoes within the embedded in the line there that we'll be seeing here. Yeah, I mean it's definitely something we'll keep a close eye on. Here, I do want to bring up another panel so we can actually have our future radar as well. Here, we'll pull up the RRFS model. It's under Mesoscale, and they move some things around here. There it is. Get a little lost every once in a while, you know. I'll also make this our neon color table too. Yeah, but you can really see though. This is for 2 p.m. roughly. You know, roughly late morning, early afternoons when that line starts to really get going as it kind of goes through like the Dallas area, roughly around that time. But yeah, and then of course as we continue going further eastward, I mean, yeah, look how nasty that line looks. So this is for the evening tomorrow. So we'll be definitely live around this point tomorrow. You know, it'll be going through Louisiana pretty late after sunset. And, of course, the line will continue through even Alabama, bits of Georgia, and, you know, even Florida, too, you know, out where I'm at here at the at our headquarters. We'll probably be seeing a little bit of scattered storms out here. Actually, the threat does extend into Florida, believe it or not, for Sunday. It's a pretty nice little system. What's up, Ponderosa? Good to see you. Let's see here. What's Dallas, Plano area looking for? Is that how you say it, Plano? Looking for throughout the night. Thank you for all you do. God bless everyone. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. So... yeah, Dallas got to keep an eye on the storms mainly for tomorrow afternoon. Tonight, we could get a couple showers, maybe a few booms of thunder. It can't be ruled out. But the main threat for you is going to be sometime in the early afternoon for you. I can't give you an exact time because, you know, models, there are limitations with the models and stuff. But, yeah, it'll be sometime in the early afternoon. Let's see here. Remember the tornadoes of 1998? I was -4 years old. I do not remember that. Most definitely a squall line. It's going to be bad for a lot of people. Yeah, I mean it's gonna threaten some power outages for sure. Absolutely. You know, these big wind bags will do that. All right, let's hop back to the real radar. Here's current radar at the moment. Yeah, so like I said, obviously we're still far away from that that main line. Right now, you can see where it essentially is, but we do have an active severe thunderstorm warning. We'll go back to that real quickly. Once again, for West Texas, out there by Wicket and Penwell, West Odessa and Arcade, got a severe warning in place for quarter hail and 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts here. I do want to look at velocity on that. Yeah, nothing rotating, which is good. What about Houston? Yeah, Houston's going to be in for a bit of the threat here. Matter of fact, Houston's actually in the greatest threat for tomorrow. That level 2 slight risk that we have in place. So if we hop back here and we go to, of course, our future radar, Houston will be getting that line sometime pretty late, kind of in the later evening, maybe, roughly between 8 to 10 or so. Give or take maybe a couple of more hours, just to give a little bit of wiggle room, essentially. So that is, yeah, you definitely need to watch out for it. If we bring up the current SPC outlook here for tomorrow, we do have that level 2 slight risk here for Houston, which that does include a 5% tornado threat here. So 5% chance for tornadoes. We do have a 15% chance for damaging wind gusts, as well as a 5% chance out there for hail. So a little bit of an everything threat. Main concern, damaging winds following potential tornadic activity. But try not to worry about the tornadoes too much. I mean, yeah, they are a concern. Absolutely, you need to watch them. But just, I know a lot of people, have a hard time with storm anxiety and stuff. And trust me, I was one of them. I used to be that way. But, I mean, given this event, I mean, there is going to be potential for tornadoes. But, I mean, if you really think about it, the odds of you specifically getting a tornado is very low. But, shouldn't brush it off completely, but also shouldn't worry yourself too much about it. Yeah, the main thing here is actually really going to be gusty winds. I think that's going to be really our main concern. Might be some prefrontal cells this weekend. Yeah, I mean, we likely will be seeing at least some. It looks pretty messy, though, from the RRFS model here. You can see the main line here. And, of course, we do have those prefrontals. Look pretty messy according to this model here. Let's pull up the HRRR. We'll compare it. Yeah, pretty much same story from the HRRR. Pretty messy prefrontals, but they could exist. And of course, the main line goes through. Wow. I feel like the HRRR wants this line more intact than the RRFS model. Like, if we hop back to the RRFS, you'll actually see how it's more broken up. You can see here. As opposed to the line, it's a lot more scattered storms. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's definitely quite an impressive system here. That low will be kicking up pretty far south. So this is really going to limit, who sees severe weather. It's mostly a Gulf Coast type of system here, Pretty far south. Now, if this low is amplified further north, then it might include more people. But no, at this point, we're kind of locked in. It's mostly going to be a southern storm. Let's see. Houston, honestly, has had the highest risk of any prefrontal, in my opinion. Highest capes located there. What, for this event? I mean, Houston's in a pretty good spot. Obviously, given where the geography is, where Houston is. You're right on the water there. You got a lot of that warm air coming in. And sometimes you get the, that air mass interaction, the cooler air on the backside of these systems that'll make things pretty unstable, mixing that warm, moisture-filled air and the cool, dry air on the backside. Had a ton of wildfires back in 1998. Whoa, really? Where was that at? Tabletop. You're good, dude. Honestly, I mean, we did a little bit of a shot for maybe some storms, but I think at this point we'll be running a low on fuel. Here, we'll pull up the day 3 outlook here. Yeah, because they do actually have the day 3 outlook here, which is south of you. Yeah, I mean, you can see day 3's outlook mostly includes just bits of central northern Florida, southwestern Georgia, bits of central southern Alabama, and like southeastern Mississippi, bits of eastern Louisiana. I think you're good. Although, could get some rain. What does Hattiesburg, Mississippi look like? Love the channel. Thank you. I appreciate it. So Hattiesburg, being pretty far south, we do have a threat for tomorrow. It's gonna be pretty late. Pretty late. I do want to bring up the models, which we have up now, so we'll bring that up. So yeah, it's gonna be a pretty late event. This is showing roughly 3 a.m. Eastern, but yeah, give or take a couple of hours in either direction for a little bit of wiggle room. You know, given models, they're not perfect, but yeah, there is a bit of a threat. Right now you're in a level 1 threat for severe weather. Main concern, I think, is going to be gusty winds for you. Maybe just a little bit of gusty wind. So I mean, this actually goes for all of you guys. You know, if you're ahead of this main line, especially in a slight risk area, it'd be good to bring in any loose objects outside. You know, if you have anything that's kind of just hanging around on your porch or whatever, you know, just sitting there, something that could easily get blown away. Just bring it indoors until the line passes, and then you can put everything back out. But yeah, definitely keep it out there for the Hattiesburg area for sure. You know, we do. I think the tornado threat does go over there, but it's pretty low, pretty darn low. Yeah, we do have that 2%. Yeah, the main tornado threat for tomorrow is going to be for eastern Texas, including Houston, and bits of central southern Louisiana like Lake Charles, Lafayette, Baton Rouge, Alexandria is in that 5% risk here. But so basically the way that works is that, say, for example, we live in Lake Charles, for example, basically within a 25-mile radius around where you're at, there is a 5% chance of a tornado dropping within that radius, if that makes sense. Same thing applies for the green 2%, just lower probability, essentially. Carrot says, let's see, some of the Cape, but surface base is over 1,000. Hold on, wait, what? some of the Cape SB is. Are you talking about surface base? Over 1,000 near Houston. Prefrontal storm to have easier time intensifying. Yeah, given that, I don't think you meant 1,000 a year. That's where I got a little bit confused there. But I mean, it's enough. It's enough. I'm just a little bit worried about too much convection. You know, that is a thing. I mean, the models kind of show a lot of noise. Now the main line will be the main source of action, but I mean, yeah, there will be likely some prefrontals. It just, if it's going to be multicellular, then a bunch of popcorn cells, then that could be a problem for the prefrontal storms. Hi from Alaska. Wow. Hello from Florida. Good to see you, my friend. That's quite a ways away. What about Jasper, Texas tomorrow? I need to figure out where Jasper is. Here, I'll pull up Jasper, Texas. Oh, okay, you're up. Oh, yeah, you're Eastern Texas. Gotcha. Yep, so Jasper is in that level 2 threat. We got a 5% tornado risk here, 15% damaging wind threat. We could see some gusts upwards of 60 miles an hour, which, 15% chance of that within a 25-mile radius around you. And, of course, we do have that 5% hail threat, too. So, yeah, it's mainly look out for some gusty winds. Maybe can't rule out isolated tornadic activity. But, anyways. Let's see. Can I check the Cape on the cams? I don't think so. I can pull up on Meso analysis. See surface. Yeah, right now we don't have much. Actually, we'll just bring it up on the RFS model. The instability. That was something else I want to look at anyways. Let's do surface-based Cape. Here we go. Yeah, definitely peaks. Definitely peaks. Our RFS model shows 800 to 1,000 joules near the Houston area. Comparing with the HRRR. Let's see here. Wow, you know what? HRRR is a little bit more unstable. Even got some pockets of 2,000. Yeah, I don't know about all that. But yeah, we do got some good surface-based Cape. Here, let me even grab a sounding, just so we can kind of see what that looks like. Surprised the Cape's only 1,000 with the Gulf feeding the system. I think it's a lack of cooler air on the backside that's really lowering the instability. I feel like if there was much more of a sharper inversion, or much more of a sharper differential between the cooler dry air mass on the back and the warmer, more moisture-filled air mass, of course, coming from the Gulf. Steeper lapse rates, more Cape. Let me check the temp, actually. Yeah, let's look at temperatures real quick. I'm actually going to create another thingy here. I have so many tabs, man. Yeah, so let's pull up surface. We'll do 2 meter temp. Okay, so there it comes. Oh, you know what? We're on GFS. We don't want GFS. KL says thank you. Yep, no problem. Yeah, by the way, guys, if you have any questions, let me know. Yeah. Yeah, you can really see that's I think that's what it is. I mean, you can see obviously where the cold front is, right? So there's your line. This is your warm sector. This is where a lot of that warm, moisture-filled air is advecting northward, right? And then you got that cooler air that's on the backside, kind of pushing this way. And then, of course, your cold front's right here. I did not zoom in. I don't know why I did that. But you got your cold front here. That's a really big triangle. But you can kind of see where this is at, But, I mean, just the difference in temperature on the backside. I mean, obviously for this particular hour, this is 8 p.m. on the RRFS model for tomorrow. Houston, being upper 60-degree temperatures, and then Bryan's like lower 60. So, I mean, it's not that big of a difference, you know what I'm saying? A lot of that's due to the fact that this low is pretty far south. If this low was positioned a lot further north, it would have a better opportunity of bringing even cooler air down from up north, if that makes sense. And meanwhile, depending on the strength, the more air it would pull in. But yeah, thankfully the low is not that far north. So not only is the low's position limiting who gets severe weather, but it's also limiting the lapse rates and or the overall strength in the severe weather. But I mean, yeah, of course, it's still an environment where severe weather will be likely. What do you think about that, Carrot? But anyways, here, let's hop on back here to whoa, what the heck did I do here? How was there another panel that got? Anyways, all right, let's take a look back at current radar, y'all. We're gonna a little bit of nowcasting. Let's see what we got going on now. Yeah, those storms are blowing up pretty good. The ones west of Midland here still got that severe warning for Crane County, Ector, Ward, and Winkler. Is it Winkler? I think that's how you say that. In western Texas. Here, we'll hop over to current radar here, including Penwell, Doro, Arcade, West Odessa. Got a severe warning in place. $50 hail and 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts here. Can I check how much Cape there is for day 3 also? I wonder how much disagreement there is. Yes, I could do that. Yeah, the further we book eastward, the more we start to lose a lot of the fuel. You want me to do mix layer? I'm going to do mix layer. Let's do thermodynamics. We'll do ML Cape. Yeah, so there you go. So obviously we have the system now. We have little pockets of instability where these storms are firing off. Then of course we really start getting that good feed tomorrow. Really bringing in a pretty good amount of instability. Seems pretty shallow from the RRFS model for areas like South Alabama. Florida, though. Florida might get in on some action for some severe weather and stuff. But it does seem pretty shallow for the most part, the fuel. Yeah, potential energy is a little bit far south here. Let's compare that with HRRR here as well. Like I said, it's good for good to look at more than one model, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, they're not that far off. I mean, at least where the instability is. Very interesting. Let's see. Possible reason for the lower instability. Yeah. Yeah, it is. Steeper lapse rates allow for more CAPE, more convective, or more potential energy, essentially. And lapse rates is simply just how quickly your temperature drops off over usually 1 kilometer altitude. So if it's like, for example, 6 degrees Celsius /km, meaning the temperature drops 6 degrees Celsius in 1 kilometer. Let's actually look at lapse rates. We'll do 0. We'll do 0 to 3 kilometer. We're going to go pretty close to the surface here. What's up, Max? Good to see you, dude. Yeah, look at that. Lapse rates aren't really that high. You see that? 4 or 5 degrees Celsius. That's exactly why we don't have much instability. Like I said, if we had steeper lapse rates, that would generate more CAPE. It also explains why further south, by South Texas, has more CAPE available, because there's steeper lapse rates down here. Let me grab a sounding. Any update on how much rain I should expect for Tennessee? Give me 1 second, and we'll look at that. Yeah, more CAPE, more instability here, because of steeper lapse rates and stuff. Anyways, but yeah, let me pull up that. We'll pull up the total precipitation. I wonder if they even have it. Hold on, this WPC. We'll do excessive rain. Oh wait, that's just the risk area. I don't know if they have. Wait, do they not have the? Here we go. Precip outlook. That's what we're looking for. Wait, no, it's not. Let me just pull up models. It'll be easier just doing it that way. All right, we'll do total QPF. Yeah, I mean, we could see a decent amount of rain, especially up by like Arkansas here. Good, maybe 2-3 inches or so for some areas. Little Rock could get a pretty good amount, but Tennessee. Did you say a specific part? You just said Tennessee, so it depends. It ranges quite a bit in Tennessee, like East Tennessee, at least as far as the model reaches. Not as much for South Tennessee as, say, West and East. Like Memphis could see maybe a couple inches. Nashville could be an inch or so from the HRRR. Let's compare with the RRFS model here. Good comparison. Wow, look at that. RFS model shows like pockets of maybe 3 to 5 inches of rain. But yeah, once again, West Tennessee getting an inch or two. Nashville, maybe an inch or so. Knoxville, gotcha. Yeah, Knoxville, not as much. Yeah, not as much. Maybe a half inch or so from this model, anyways. Yeah, the most rain we're gonna get is gonna be western and northern Tennessee here. Twilight says looks like the 4 to 5 degree lapse in Boston, or sorry, how did I get Boston out of that Baton Rouge area as well? Going by Color Legend. 4 to 5 degrees Celsius lapse rates are not super steep. Not super steep. 6, 7, 8 degrees Celsius lapse rates are usually where you get some really steep drop-offs in those temps. And, like I said, the CAPE could be higher if the cooler air behind the system, behind the front, was colder. Because as we observed, surface temps anyways, between before and after the front, it only drops by like 10 degrees, which is pretty mild. And like I said, we obviously looked at lapse rates, surface to 3 kilometer, which showed to be pretty weak, which that really explains why we don't have that much CAPE. But, I mean, like I said, that's typical for this time of the year, Typical for this time of the year. But anyways, all right, let's hop back to current view. Like I said, that's tomorrow we were talking about. So right now, obviously, we do have a bit of storm activity popping off. This is the latest frame right here. You can see that Midland area is about to get it. I think Midland got some earlier, right? Oh, no, they got some showers. Yeah, Midland, Texas, about to get dumped on, it looks like. Quite a bit of rain. Odessa, about to get some heavy rain too. Andrews, hey, it's my city. Andrews is about to get pretty good as well, if they're not already. And once again, speaking of, whoops, that is the wrong scene. I don't know what all that's about. But we do have that severe thunderstorm warning in effect here for Penwell, Duro, Arcade, West Odessa. Got a nice little core here. Probably got a little bit of hail. They do have the warning for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and $half size hail. 1.25 inches in diameter. Max says, so I can still get out Sunday for church and stuff. Yeah, you should be able to. Services are pretty early, aren't they? If I look at the models, yeah, I mean, it'll be pretty heavy for a little bit. Probably around that time. Yeah, I mean, some areas are going to be dealing with a pretty decent little amount of, rainfall here. Here, let's pull up the rainfall outlook here. WPC. I always get these mixed up every once in a while. Who has what and what has what. Excessive rain, day 2 is what we're looking for, right? We'll do day 3 as well. Okay, day 3, there's that. Okay, so day 2 tomorrow. We do actually have a level 2. So the scale goes up to 4. For the rainfall outlook. So it goes marginal, slight, moderate, high. I probably should change my scene back over here again. Whoops. Yeah, so marginal, slight, moderate, high. We have a level 2, which is slight. Bit of a flooding threat here. So if you're in the yellow or the green, and if you're in a flood-prone area, it's important to keep a close eye on it, especially the yellow. It has at least a 15% chance of flooding. The green has at least a 5% chance. See, new mesoscale discussion. Nothing crazy. Gotcha. Is it basically talking about, what is it? Are they concerning a watch, or? I might have to look at that. By the way, got a new warning, y'all, for Midland, Texas. Yeah, Midland's about to get hit pretty good, it looks like, by this little clump of storms. Including Gardendale, North Cowden, Midland. That's all the main areas as of right now. We got a new warning in effect for quarter hail and 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts here. Are you talking about Odessa, Max? Do you see anything on velocity? Yeah, I don't see anything for Odessa right now, other than a big wind bag about to hit. Yeah, I don't think Odessa's going to see any tornadic activity. I mean, from what I'm seeing, I don't see nothing that screams tornado potential right now. I just see mostly a straight line little system here. But, yeah, I don't think they'll be getting a tornado. I don't think so. Vienna says, when are the storms supposed to begin? They're going on now. They're actually starting right now. Or they're not just starting, but they've been going for a little bit. They are happening now. But overnight, they're going to die down a little bit. Here's the models. We'll pull up here. Yeah, so they'll die down a little bit. Let's get rid of the outlook here. So I've got a couple of them, and then we'll just have a little bit of a line for a little bit, but it's not until like tomorrow afternoon where that line really picks back up. That's HRRR. Let's do the RRFS model. Yeah. Yeah, so we'll probably have a couple of pop-up storms here tonight. You know, perhaps maybe a couple severe, but yeah, the main stuff starts tomorrow afternoon. The big stuff. Twilight says a lot of cities with see real names, few names Twilight. Yeah, I don't think there's any towns named Twilight. See, it's definitely a nice line developing. Yeah, it's pretty good. Pretty good one. What's the SBC outlook for Sunday? We got a marginal, including Florida, even. Lucky me, right? Honestly, yeah, kind of. Because we need rain desperately. We need it bad. Dude, the grass here is brown. I'm gonna say glass. Our grass down here is like completely dead. But yeah, here's Sunday's risk. Here we do have a level 1 threat. My bad. Level 2 tomorrow. Level 1 on Sunday for central northern Florida, bits of southwest Georgia, central southern Alabama, a little bit of Mississippi on the continuation from Saturday night into Sunday morning, and eastern Louisiana. See, okay, not too bad. Yeah, we start to lose a lot of instability by the time we get here. But you know what? It still could be a decent little wind maker, though. I mean, if you look at the here, I'll even pull up a comparison here. My tripod for my camera's in the way, so I gotta look around if you're wondering why I'm looking. All right, so we'll have the RRFS on the left, and we'll have the HRRR on the right. We'll load up the 0 UTC here for both of them, and we'll do composite reflectivity. Here we go. There we go. So now you can kind of see the comparison between the two. Oh, I need to change the color table. Hold up. It's got to look nice. Can't have two different color tables. It just doesn't work. So yeah, once again, HRRR on the right, the RRFS model on the left here. Which, yeah, I mean, you can see a clear difference once we hit Florida. Obviously, the HRRR on the right panel wants more of a linear, still relatively intact line. Meanwhile, the RRFS has it kind of broken up, which is interesting. But, I mean, still similar outcome for, like, especially Louisiana. I mean, that looks pretty darn identical. Yeah, they're pretty close. Let's see here. Grass here is completely dead too. We haven't had rain in weeks, months to observe. Yeah, it's been bad. It's been really bad. Here, I'll even pull up the drop monitor for you. It's been like super duper. Why am I going under Hurricane Center for that? Where is the drought monitor? Here we go. There we go. Yeah, it's been bad for a lot of places actually. Yeah, I mean, look at Florida. It's like almost everybody's in a drought here in Florida, except for Titusville. Titusville just be built different, I guess. But yeah, we got extreme droughts throughout the entire state, really. It's bad. It's really bad down here. You know, a lot of it was from that cold air that came down too, that we got. Like, it was like in the lower 20s, and it really dried everything out. Not only did it dry everything out, but it also killed a lot of plants, which have become a good fuel source for wildfires. I made a short the other day because there was literally a wildfire like 5 minutes from me. It's crazy. And it was about a 30-acre fire from what I heard. But thankfully, it was just in an open field. They contained it. It was, it wasn't any. It didn't hit anybody, which is good. But still, just goes to show you how dry it is out here. Also seeing posts about GFS possibly putting a coastal storm in the Maryland area coming Monday. Really? Look at that. Also, I just noticed your top comment. I apologize. See, can I check on zip code for Sunday storm system? Seems like a borderline between rain and mix of snow. I'd appreciate your feedback. Really? Yeah, of course. Let me pull that up for you. Here, let's hop over here. Okay, you're up by the DC area. Gotcha. Yeah, so you'll definitely be getting something here. Let's just pull up a new board. You see all my you can't see all my tabs I have here, man. Look, I gotta show you how bad this is real quick. Look at all my tabs. I'm getting to have too many tabs. Oh, I can't even open anymore. Anyways, all right, let's pull it up real quick. I'll pull up the preset type, Mesoscale, RFS, and we'll do model precipitation. Or is it under? Oh, it's under winter. Yeah, they changed it. Darn, threw me off. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna have much winter weather out of this. RRFS doesn't show much. Mostly just cold rain. Maybe a little bit of snow up northeast. Now the HRRR, on the other hand, this model shows same darn thing. Yeah, I don't think we'll be seeing much of. I don't think we'll be seeing much winter weather out of it. All right, let's see. We don't have any snow left in northern Illinois. Yeah. Oh, I do want to show you guys something pretty cool, though. If we go to Lake Erie, here, you can actually see it melting. Hold on, I'm pulling up satellites. You guys are going to probably find this pretty cool. All right, let's bring this satellite over here. All right. Okay. All right, so let's look at the lake, y'all. We'll go to the one. All right, so then we go to true color. We'll have to increase our frame count so you can see it. Oh, that's not it. Whoops. I'm on the wrong one. There we go. You see the ice right here? So this coast, the northern coast here, you can see doesn't have any ice. You can obviously see all the snow on the ground still, how it's all white. But this right here, this is one sheet of ice. And you can kind of see where it's thicker, like right in here. There's a thick spot, like right in here. It's more thicker because you can see it's more transparent down in here. This is where it's thinner. So you can kind of see that off of it. But anyways, but if you look closely, look at it move. You see that ice move? Pretty cool stuff, huh? I can even go back even farther. Oh, yeah, look at that. You can see it break up, too. Look at that. That's freaking awesome. Yeah, there you go. See it moving? Why am I entertained by ice breaking up? But it's such a big scale, though, you know? This is not a little lake. I mean, this thing's huge. Anyways, I'm getting sidetracked. I apologize. All right, let's hop back over to the current radar again. We got a new warning, actually. New severe warning. I think this is mostly rural areas. Locations impacted include Midland, Greenwood, Cotton Flats, Sky West Airport, Strawberry, and Pleasant Farms. So that's that new warning there. That is for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-sized hail. Twilight says we've had snow, but only measurable snow. Maybe twice this winter. Max, gotcha. The whole line is severe now. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it's pretty solid. Yeah, definitely could see a bit of hail, bit of gusty winds in it. Like I said, tonight, thankfully, no tornadoes. No, we're expecting. Tomorrow, though, that's a different story. We actually have a pretty decent tornado threat tomorrow. What's up, Viper? Good to see you. Say hello. I'm a bit late to the stream tonight. Hope all is well. You're good, man. Good to see you. Hope you're doing good as well. I'm hanging in there, just doing some coverage, hanging out with you guys. I really haven't mentioned this, but if you guys do enjoy this content, be sure to leave a like, hit that subscribe button. At least I think that's what all the cool people are saying, right? I really appreciate it, though. If y'all could. Yeah, I mean, this thing kind of merged. It almost seemed like it was a few semi-discrete storms. You know, you see that? It was like kind of like 3 main cells, and then they all kind of just converted or converged into one kind of line here. But it's coming down pretty good. Coming down pretty good out by like Odessa. Midland's about to get it pretty good. So a bit of a heads up for our folks up in Midland. Yeah, they are included in that warning now. Speaking of warning, they did cancel the severe thunderstorm warning for Pinwell, Duro, and Arcade. Also, Odessa is right on the outside of it. But yeah, you're still likely going to see a little bit of gusty winds out of it. I mean, it looks pretty good. The good news, I don't see any rotation on it. You know, which is great. Yeah, mostly just winds right now and maybe some hail. Misty says, I'm drinking a root beer and hold on. I'm drinking a root beer, the soda, and watching the stream. Sounds really good. Enjoy that root beer float. Or just root beer, sorry. Root beer float. That's what I was thinking. That sounds good. Man, I haven't had a root beer float in like forever. I can't even tell you the last time I had one of those. You know? It's been a minute. Also, root beer, too. It's been a long time. All right, let's pull up SAT. I want to pull up satellite view real quickly. I'll pull up lower level water vapor. Kind of see where we stand here. Yeah, so you can obviously see where the convection is right here. And that jet. Kind of see that subtropical jet there. Bringing in all that moisture. And then the Gulf is going to start tapping into it and start supplying even more. Supplying a lot of the warmth, a lot of the heat. Here, let me pull up the IR satellite view. Yeah, so there's your main line that we were looking at there. The one out by Midland. Pretty good. Let's see here. What brand Misty? Oh. You know what? We're about to have a talk, you guys. We're about to have a talk. We're about to do a little something fun. You know, since weather's pretty slow right now, since we're watching a few storms, I got a poll we're going to do. I haven't done one of these in ever, so we're going to do one right now. If I can even figure out how you do it. Wait, I might have to do it over here. Hold on. Here we go. Start a poll. What is better, A&W or mug? Yes or no? Hold up. This is a serious debate. Serious debate. Boom. You guys vote. What do you think? What's better? Let's see. Not weather related to SC NASA space shuttle launch. They retired the space shuttle. That ain't launching no more. I did see Crew 12. Oh. Let's see, what are we at? We got 3 votes. Ooh, here we go. Votes are coming in now. 83% A&W. Wow. Goodness. What if you love both? It's a tough decision you got to make. Like, you're stranded on an island, right? You have either the choice of mug or A&W. What are you going with? Neither. What? Come on. Come on. I can't really say much, though. I haven't had it in forever. Anyways, let's do a quick little overview, y'all. So once again, we have 2 severe warnings right now, both in Texas. Severe warning includes Sorry, that's not new. That's North Cowden. Let's see, Gardendale, also including Midland. South of that, we have the other warning for Strawberry. Not strawberry, Strawberry. And that's all the main town I see in this polygon here. Anyways, for the southern warning, this includes 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail. And then that northern one, I believe, is $0.50. Oh, no, they downgraded it, actually. Yep. Both down for 60-mile-per-hour winds and quarter hail. Let's see. What launched this morning? There was a rocket that launched this morning, Crew 12, which carried some astronauts to the International Space Station. I was going to watch it, but there was a lot of fog here where I was at this morning. It was very foggy, and I wasn't able to see it, sadly. I was at like 5 this morning, though. It was really early, too, but I was up. All right, y'all. We're gonna end the poll here. I think we got enough data. Seems like 73% said A&W. 27% said Mug. I have to agree with A&W personally. As a kid, I loved Mug, but once I discovered A&W, it's better. It's a lot better. Anyways. Might be some convergence starting on the line. Here, let's look at this. Oh, these cells were converging. Yeah, that southern one. Like I said, it was all kind of just one. Here, let's hop back over here. It was all kind of just a couple of, you know, I can't think of the word right off the top of my head. I just said it a minute ago. Shoot, I'm losing it. Semi-discrete cells. I don't know why they took me so long to remember that. But yeah, they kind of changed from, semi-discrete storms into kind of one big blob. Yeah, I mean, that southern one is converging with the total mass here. It's actually about to hit Midland here. Which, yeah, Midland's right up on it. So there's Midland right here. You can see that the line is almost there. So heads up to our folks in Midland. Once again, we've got a warning in place. Severe thunderstorm warning for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-sized hail. Let's see. Feels in Texas 70 degrees at night. It's going to be humid. With the dew point being in the 60s, that's when you start to notice it getting a little bit muggy. It's not the humidity, it's the dew point. Let's see. If I didn't say it earlier, thank you for answering my question earlier. Appreciate the feedback. Yeah, of course, no problem. You're very welcome. Yeah, we'll see, Carrot. Let's see here. I have no idea, Max. Twilight said, whoever said bar. Oh, gosh. How do you even say that? The bars? Never even heard of it, nor have I ever tried it before. Anyways. All right, let's take a peek up north. Like I said, we do have those storms popping off here as well up in Oklahoma. So they started firing off right around 9 o'clock Eastern or so. Yeah, it's really turning into a bunch of multicellular storms here. I don't think we'll see much out of those anytime soon. We did have that one warning there a little bit ago, though. Yeah, the main one now is the one that's getting ready to hit Midland. Here, let's bring back up our future radar here. So we have 2 different models. We got the American, well, they're both American models, but the right model is the HRRR, and the left model is the RRFS model. Anyway, so this is kind of how this is going to be playing out. Barks. Oh, okay. Yeah, the Q threw me off there. I wasn't sure how to say that. Anyways, so Saturday, tomorrow, that's when everything's really going to start to pop off here, especially as we approach into the early evening tomorrow, kind of the late afternoon, early evening. That's when this line's really supposed to get pretty strong. But I'm getting a little bit more and more concerned on the fact that, how much convection we're seeing here, ahead of the, in the prefrontals here. These prefrontal cells, there's a really big quantity of them. Now, sometimes these can even like hurt performance of the main line itself. We'll see what happens though. We'll see. But yeah, I mean, you can definitely see. I mean, they're pretty much on point. Pretty much on point. The main line going from pretty much south of Houston, south of Houston, all the way up into southern central Arkansas. I mean, they don't look that much different. Now, obviously, they're different models, different runs. They're going to look a little different, but they're pretty close. I mean, given that we're this close to the event, it's pretty darn close. Except for, of course, once we get to Florida, there's a big change. Once again, the HRRR showing still a pretty decently intact line. And then the RRFS showing kind of more scattered storms, within the line. Let's see here. No contest. Mountain Dew. Oh, yes. I'm going to make a hot take. A very hot take. I'm probably going to lose subscribers for this, but I hate sweet tea. I hate it. That's going to be breaking news. Andrew hates sweet tea. Unsubscribing. Nah, I just never got into it. I'll tell you what is good, though. Lemonade. Okay, I do like Arnold Palmer. That's as close to sweet tea as I'll get. That's as close as I'll ever get. Half sweet tea, half lemonade. Good stuff. Max said, wow. Wow. Hey, man. It be like that. All right, Midland's getting hit now, y'all. Once again, if you know anybody out by Midland, just heads up. A little bit of gusty winds. Up to 60 miles an hour and quarter-size hail. See, lemonade's still really good. It is. I love lemonade. Let's see. I'm not going to unsubscribe, but wow. I told you it was a hot take, But anyways, once again, everybody, we're looking in West Texas, if you're wondering right now. We got 2 severe thunderstorm warnings we're keeping an eye on. We got Strawberry. We got Midland, West Odessa, North Cowden. Actually, North Cowden's pretty much out of it. Same thing for Gardendale. We got a severe warning in place for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts here. And penny-size hail. They actually just updated it. They got rid of Gardendale. Yep, because they're on the backside. They're on the backside. Let's see. But yeah, definitely got quite a bit of lightning activity on this. Got all kinds of lightning activity. They seem pretty energetic. And like I said, we had a 2.7 magnitude earthquake earlier. See, this was at today at 04:28 Zulu. Wait, what time is it now? Wait, this was like recent. What the heck? Hold on a minute. That was there before, though, right? That says, yeah, February 14th at 04:28 Zulu, 23 kilometers southwest of Snyder, Texas. There was a magnitude 1.3 Okay, that was a 2 point something. Maybe we have a... Oh, there's two. There's two of them. Okay. 1.3 happened at 1:33 Zulu. And then the 2.7 happened at 04:28. Unless that's when they updated it? Not sure. Let's see. Green tea over sweet tea for me, Andrew. Sweet tea is way too sugary for me. And like kids, sugar cereals. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Totally fair. Personally, I'd rather have lemonade than tea, in my opinion. But like I said, Arnold Palmer's, they're pretty good. They're pretty good. I haven't had one in forever, though. Man, this... I love how this stream is kind of turned into just keeping an eye on some storms and talking about drinks. Did not see this stream going this way tonight. No, I love it, though. You know, I love more of these down-to-earth streams where things aren't too crazy to the point where I can actually talk and breathe, you know. Tomorrow, I don't think we'll be as lucky. I feel like we'll probably have a little bit more activity going on tomorrow, you know, with that long line rather than this little guy right here. But I like this. I like these streams. Let's see. Hope you'll be up when the new Euro models come out around midnight or so. Well, it's about 17 minutes away. We've been streaming how long already? We've been live over an hour. Yeah, honestly, I didn't know how long we're gonna stream here for, but just kind of taking it every minute at a time. Here, I'll look at the long range here. Let's just do that. We haven't not looked at the long range in a minute, so we'll pull up the winter precipitation type. Let's see. Lemonade is good, but you got to drink pink lemonade mixed with Sprite. Really? Is that good? Have anybody else ever tried that? I've never heard of that before. Huh. Anyways, we got this system coming through. Let's see here. I don't want to go too far down in time. Yeah, there's been a little bit of talk about another system up north for our Great Lake friends. In the northern plains, even. A little bit of snow. Bit of rain, maybe towards the Ohio Valley. Northeast. So this will be taking place, yeah, later on, kind of mid next week. Don't want to go too far down, though. Let me compare that with the Euro. Pull up the ECMWF. Yeah, but models have been talking about this for a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they both agree. So, yeah, kind of midweek, we'll be seeing maybe a little bit of a snow system for the mid-upper Great Lakes. Let's see. Misty says, I tried Mountain Dew and Mountain Dew Diet. Ew, with Pepsi and root beer mixed together is bad idea, too strong. That sounds disgusting. Like, no offense, but that sounds gross. You did say it was bad, though, which, yeah. How can you mix Mountain Dew and Diet Mountain Dew? You can't mix that. It doesn't work. That's your problem right there. That's your main problem. Let's see. See, it's a Southern thing. Amazing. You should try it tomorrow on live. Well, I don't have any Sprite, but I do have pink lemonade. I have those, like, Southern style jars with the powder. Those are good. Let's see. Weird radar velocity product on Southwest Oklahoma radar. All right, let me look. Let me pull it up. We're actually going to open up a new GR panel because I'd hate to lose my animation. That's the one thing I don't like about GR2 is, like, you lose your animation and you have to stay on the latest frame until you've accumulated enough. Anyways, let's go to, I'm assuming you're talking the one out by Lawton. That's what I'm saying, Carrot. Just doesn't work. So, Max, is it like a 1-to-1 ratio? Half and half? All right. Is this what you're talking about? Over by Foss? This is scanning about 6,000 feet up, too. Yeah, I see that. I don't know. We'll, I'll watch it. But we also got to remember it is 6,000 feet up. Max, I'm not getting off stream just to buy Sprite, dude. I'm here to help y'all. Yeah, I'll keep that panel open and we'll check back in a minute, see what it looks like. Is it me or are these cells weakening actually? Look at that. I think oh yeah. Yeah, look at that. You can see where it was kind of at its prime there, and you know where we're at now. It seems like it's kind of losing its kick. Let's see, it's just over half pink lemonade and the rest Sprite. So 2/3 pink lemonade, 1/3. I'd have to mess with the ratios. That sounds interesting though. It doesn't sound bad. It just sounds different. Never heard of it. But I'll give it a go one day. Line is dying out right now. Yeah, it seems like it's at least having a little bit, at least a little bit of a halt, maybe. It's breaking up a little bit. Telling you it's 10 out of 10. All right, I'll take your word for it, man. I'll give it a go one day, and I'll let you know if I ever see you, or when I see you back in another stream, and once I've tried it. All right, so let's do a little update on these warnings here real quickly. So we do have that severe warning of Midland, Texas is getting it right now. They're kind of getting the heaviest of it at the moment. 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and penny-sized hail. On the southern one, out by Strawberry, 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-sized hail. So yeah, they're both baseline severe warnings here. You know, excuse me, they're both for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. So winds could peak up to 60, as well as quarter hail. So counting on y'all. All right, man. I got you. Next time I'm out, I'll get some Sprite. All right, let's hop back here. We're gonna go back to models. Models. Once again, y'all. So we have two models loaded. We're comparing. It's good to compare models. So we have the RRFS model on the left panel over here on this panel, and in the right panel we have the HRRR. So kind of where we're at now. Yeah, a bunch of scattered storms, and obviously right now it's currently it's almost midnight. So yeah, it's almost 5 UTC. So this is kind of where we're roughly at right about now. Got some storms up by Oklahoma. Yeah. So we go in time. We can kind of see this is right around 6 a.m. Eastern, so 5 Central. The RRFS shows a bit of a longer line developing overnight. The HRRR a little bit more broken up. Then, of course, we go into tomorrow afternoon, 12 o'clock Eastern, 11 Central. At this point, the HRRR starts to show that line picking up. RRFS may be lagging a little bit behind here, but then ultimately catches up. So it's really not until we get into the evening here. You kind of see this is like kind of the early evening for the most part. Late afternoon, early evening, that's when we really get this line going, which could lead through a pretty good amount of eastern Texas into even Arkansas. Then we approach midnight going into Sunday. And by the time here, we do have ourselves, of course, the line continuing through central Louisiana, bits of Arkansas still. But yeah, we'll be live at this point. We'll be doing a lot of coverage for Louisiana at least. I'm not sure if I'm going to be live for East Texas. Probably a little bit. Let's see, any mesoscale data on the line. Oh yeah, let's pull up our meso analysis actually. What did I do with that? I think I got rid of it. Whoops. Here, let's bring back up our meso analysis. All right, let's see here. Max says, make a deal. If you try my favorite drink tomorrow on stream, I'll complete the donation goal. Really? So I got to get Sprite tomorrow and try it on stream. Okay. I'll hold your word for it. I'll do it tomorrow. If you're going to be up this time tomorrow, I'll be live midnight tomorrow. I'll do it. I'll do it. Anyways, all right, let's look here. We'll hop back. We're in the wrong area, though. We got to go back to Southern Plains. All right, so we got a decent amount of instability. Not a whole lot. So Meso analysis shows about 600 to 1,000 ml cape, which not anything excessive. But it's decent. Lower level winds, like I said, yeah, we don't really have much of a lower level jet. We do have a little bit further east of the convection, you could see a little bit of a lower level jet, maybe 30 knots or so, 25, 30 knot lower level jet. And of course, our mid level flow at 20,000 feet aloft. Winds are, instead of going from south to north, they're going from kind of southwest to northeast for the most part. So there is some veering going on there. A little bit at least. Yeah, especially further south, it looks like on that one. Yeah, a little bit of veering right there. We'll, like I said, obviously we don't have a tornado threat tonight. So obviously it's not. I mean, it's not impossible, but it's unlikely that we'll see one tonight. But yeah, tomorrow we'll have to see. See, I'll be here. All right. Sounds good. We'll do it. Anyways, so that's that, y'all. Just wanted to quickly look at that. Actually, you know what? While we're looking at that, I do want to look at helicity. We'll do effective inflow layer. Ooh, yeah, helicity's pretty weak. Here, let's hop back over here real quickly. Yeah, our helicity's like 100 and below. Yeah, due to a lack of wind shear. I mean, like I said, in our lower profiles, anyways. Like our mid upper shear is not too bad, you know, with that subtropical jet going over. But our lower stuff's pretty weak. So probably why we're not going to get tornadic activity yet until we approach tomorrow. Which here, let me pull up the. Actually, you know what we're gonna do? I'm gonna pull up the lower level winds here. So if you don't like it, though, I'm not gonna send anything. But if you like, in the slightest, I'll complete the goal. All right, that's fair. So I gotta try it and I gotta like it. I mean, it doesn't sound bad, personally. I'll just be curious to try it by itself, to be honest with you. All right, let's see here. We'll do. Here we go. There's our 850. Wow, dude. Yeah, so that's GFS actually. Let's see if we can't pull up the RRFS model here. There you go. Wow. Yeah, I mean, we got quite the lower level jet going on here. Goodness. So the line would be like right in here. About a 45 to 50 knot lower level jet. So this is our winds about 4,000 feet up. By the way, this would be about 60 mile an hour sustained, roughly. Constant winds of 60. So I want you to note the orientation of these winds, right? Let me actually, you know what? I do have a pen built in here. All right, here's what we're gonna do. So we're gonna mark the lower level winds here in yellow. So you can see the lower level winds are kind of doing this, right, in that direction. Now, if we overlay the mid level winds, let's see here. yeah, if we overload, or not overload, if we overlay the mid-level winds, we'll see those barbs. Yeah, you can see there's a little bit of a difference in the direction. Not much, but the wind direction does change a little bit with altitude there. So between our... Honestly, this is kind of a little high up to be looking, to be honest with you. We should probably do more of a 850 to 700 millibar. Let's do 700 wind speed. That'd be better, honestly. Oh... No, they're actually pretty close. I mean, there's a little bit of a change in wind direction, though. Wind speed's about the same or so, maybe a little weaker at those levels. Anyways, there's a little bit of veering winds going on. I'm going to give that potential for tornadic activity. Let's see. So has the shear died down in the area of the storms, which is weakening them? No, I don't think that's what it is. I mean, our mid-upper level shear is fine, you know, where the storms are at. Yeah, the mid-upper level shear is fine. It could just be a pocket of less instability that models can't really pick up on. It could be it running out of a little bit of juice. It's a little hard to say. What are these it? Oh, these are it right here. Actually, you know what? That's exactly what it is, I think. Pretty sure it's running out of instability. Or the air is becoming more stable, per se. Yeah, because the line right here, you can see that's where the storms are at right there. And, you know, the 500 millibar line for... Or, sorry, not 500 millibar. 500 Cape line is right here in the red. So, yeah, it's kind of pushing out of that. So it's running into less fuel or instability. Bet you that's what it is. It's not a shear issue. You know, our mid levels really carry or really separate those up and down drafts, updraft and downdrafts. I think Sunday's hype way too much. I think we might see one tornado if we see any. We'll see what happens. I mean, the ingredients are there. Ryan says, what do I think about these storms heading towards Kansas City? They had some large hail earlier. Been watching them. They seem like they are calm, but who knows? Like right now? Let's see. Also, what happened to all my tabs? Did I close all my tabs? I think I closed all my tabs. That's not good. Anyways, let's do current radar. We'll do... So you set up by Kansas City. Oh, okay, these guys over here. Gotcha. Yeah, I don't think these are going to do much. They're pretty high up. Let me grab a sounding out here. Just kind of see what the environment is supposed to look like right around here. Big surface issues. Yeah, we got some elevated stuff going on here. Some elevated cell action, but for, you can see the surface, I mean, our dew point's mid-40s. Temperature's lower, too. Yeah, it's pretty elevated. It wouldn't be any tornadic concern, even though our photographs look pretty good. It's just super elevated. So I don't think we'll see much tornadic out of this. I think the threat does go into southeastern Kansas stuff, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, just outside of Kansas City, though. Yeah, these ones won't be, more than likely won't be anything really big or concerning. Alrighty, everybody. I'm probably gonna roll off for now. Yeah, we've been live 2.5 hours. I think I'm gonna call it here. Just wanted to hop on, do a little bit of coverage tonight with you guys. We'll be back tomorrow. Like I said, I'll be covering a lot tomorrow night, per se, to keep you guys in the loop with everything and keep you guys up to date. with everything. But if y'all enjoyed it, be sure to leave a like, hit that subscribe button. Be greatly appreciated. But yeah, I think I'm gonna roll off here for now. Yeah, we'll see you guys here in the next one. Thank you all so much for joining. If you're new to the channel, first of all, welcome. Thanks for stopping by. If y'all could consider leaving a like, hitting that subscribe button. I think I've already said that like a million times, but it'll be greatly appreciated. And we'll be sure to keep you guys up to date with everything. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining. We'll see you guys here tomorrow. You guys take care, and we'll see y'all in the next one. Peace out, my friends. See ya later on.